All over you, Randolph. And MathPig, you did really good, man. The guy, you had to stop the shit when it starts happening, man.
I interrupted the flow of the conversation.
Oh man, the guy, he don't realize it's not his channel. He's a guest.
No. Exactly. He has to agree. He has to agree with rules when he comes on.
That's right.
And if he agrees with those rules, then you need to enforce the rules.
The only thing I said that I would interrupt on was when there was over talking. That's the only reason I said I would interrupt. Before we went on, I said I will basically sit back.
Right.
But if there is over talking, the audience cannot hear two people talking, so I will interrupt for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So, that's what happened.
Well, I don't curse a lot, because I think it's a waste of language. Anyway, that was ridiculous, man. The way he treated you on your own channel.
Yes. Oh, he got one. Everybody gets one.
That is total disrespect to you, MathPig. And I don't know if anyone else had noticed that, but I did. I
did.
Oh, yeah.
I did. I wouldn't let him get away with that on our channel.
No, everybody gets one. Everybody gets one.
Not a second.
But so keep in mind, MathPig is new at this.
And I'm not a seasoned debater.
I've made some really stupid mistakes when I started out. Just go and look at my channel and go look at the earlier things that I did. I had Hovind on and I missed out on a lot, so I still want to have him on.
Wow.
But I'm also still trying to get him back with On Raw, and I still don't have no, I'm not going to do it. So,
well, at least that's something.
Can you put a link to your channel in the chat? I'd like to take a look. Subscribe.
My channel's gonna go for it.
YouTube.com. That's you. Oh, I'm already there. I already got you in the atheist frontier and everything. Now I know who you are.
Yeah. See, I was the guy you hadn't in there. So,
hey, if Ken Hovind wasn't making money from what he's doing, he wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, very much so. Ken Hovind.
We would never hear from him. We would never hear from him.
Gio, what a lot of people don't know is that he now has taken a lot of his money offshore. So the American government can't get to it.
Yeah, like yeah.
And what a lot of people also don't know is why his wife left him. That's also over money. Because she saw that he was still doing the same shit as what he went to prison for, and she didn't want any part of that, so she walked off. And since they're not legally married because they only had a marriage with a friendly pastor who married them on the compound, she could just walk off. There's no divorce needed because there was never a marriage.
Wow.
The whole thing's a farce. It's a whole facade. It's a big facade.
They all are. You ever notice they all are?
So with Ken Hovind, it looked to me like he goes to prison, leaves his son to run the business, and then when he comes out of prison, his son has stolen the business from him. Is that?
No.
That's how it looks.
So he went to prison, and then told his son that he needed to transfer the business to himself for a small amount of money, because if there would be money coming in, it would directly go to the U.S. government. So what happened was that Eric bought the entire
Okay.
And he bought that for $3,000 because his dad wanted him to do that. And when his dad got out of prison, that was 9 years after Eric's mother had asked him to please comply so she could get a lower sentence, and he wouldn't. So Eric and his mother were running a successful business, started off of creation science evangelism. And yeah, Eric's not going to give that up.
Nope.
And when Hovind got home, his wife told him, wait a minute, you're not sleeping in my bedroom. Over there is the guest room. That's where you'll be sleeping. So when he got back home, his wife had already left him.
Can I just interrupt? Darth's going to jump in, so somebody's going to have to take the...
Yeah, put me in the back room.
I'll wait till he gets
No
here.
kidding, Darth. Wow. All right.
Now,
This is gonna be great.
I'm just going to say, I will interrupt everybody if they overtalk, because I can't stand people overtalking. So he's going to, one person at a time.
MathPig.
Yes.
Remember our offline talk this week about the Discord server?
Yes.
I might be muted a lot.
What?
I said I might be muted a lot.
I really get a chance.
Well, Evolution False, the offer is open. It's the exact same link as we used for the mainstream. I haven't cancelled it. It's still running. I just invited others in, so you're welcome to come in. And we have him back. Who's taking the back? There we go. Thank you for coming back,
Welcome
Duncan.
Hey, Duncan.
Hello again.
Before
talking to my buddies about you, Randolph.
Before everything turns into a royal mess, Duncan, I want to invite you to come on our channel and have a chat.
Sure.
Okay, where can I reach you?
Evolutionfalse@gmail.com.
Evolutionfalse@gmail.com. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
False as in the opposite of true.
Yeah.
Is
That's literally a false email address, but it's fun.
But Randolph, you get props. You're probably the most cordial atheist I've ever debated.
Oh, well, thank you. I remember that you made that comment 4 years ago when we chatted as well.
It's got to be that Canadian blood.
Well,
I don't know. You up against Shannon. You were Canadian blood didn't work in your favor.
There are
Shannon was obnoxious.
There are some Canadians who are just as nasty as some of the Americans. It's just life. But I'm glad that
was obnoxious.
I'm glad that you enjoyed our conversation, because I
No,
did.
we don't want to discuss Shannon. It's not fair. She's not here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no,
I call her.
I'm just wondering because I haven't seen Shannon in a while. That would mean that she had done a complete 180 because I've never seen her be obnoxious in a stream.
She wasn't. She tried to clarify, but like I said, it's.
Is there anything you
No,
want to
she was rude and she was obnoxious. She tried to impugn me.
Dave, is there
of
anything you want
engaging
to
in
say
some
about the
type of
debate tonight?
psychological malfeasance.
Okay, well, we weren't there, so she's not here to defend herself. Dave, is there anything you would like to say to Duncan about what happened earlier?
No, not really.
Oh, go on. We'll work our way. Gio, is there anything you'd like to say to Duncan?
Oh yeah, I think you did a wonderful job there, Duncan, and I think
Thank
you held to your game. If I can call it that, which I think that I don't want to make it less than what it is.
Oh, that's fine.
But
Yeah, basically what I'm doing is I'm taking certain theological concepts and then I'm expressing them in philosophical language, okay? And then we're seeing if the person's worldview and what they say coheres to the philosophical representations.
Mm-hmm. Well, you did that. I can't say you didn't. But then again, I can say some things that go against what you just said. Also,
okay, lay it on me.
Well, the fact that it is a script.
Yeah, this is a canard that is repeated over and over and over again in the comment sections. If it's a script, so what? Everybody has a script that comes out of their mind. Okay.
No,
Nope.
Everybody. Okay.
Untrue.
Gio,
I don't have a script.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Ask me. What's the question?
Do all of your beliefs that you have in your web of beliefs, do they derive from an ultimate commitment about reality?
Wait there. Before you answer that, I want to know how you know that yours does.
Wait.
That's the Christian worldview.
Dave, wait a minute. Can you ask that question again, Duncan, please?
Do all of your beliefs, especially when you verbalize them, they derive?
You just changed the question.
I'm reformulating it so it's easier.
No, you can't
for you to understand.
reformulate the question.
You want to repeat it again?
Yeah, the same question.
Yeah. Do all of your beliefs derive from an ultimate commitment?
No, that's not the same question.
It is.
We can review it later, and it's not the same question. Every time I ask you to repeat the question is different.
Actually, sometimes I use slightly different words.
All right, now we're tap dancing, and I'm talking over you on purpose because you're tap dancing.
There's no tap dancing here.
Oh no! Okay, then what is that?
Gio, let me.
He's tap dancing, Peter, and you know it.
I know. So I think I agree with Gio because you asked a question, then you said you wanted to clarify the question, and ended up asking a completely different question.
No, it was the same question, but phrased differently.
If you're going to rephrase it, then at least the question needs to stay the same, and in this case, it didn't.
It was the same question.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, what was the question then?
You asked the question.
I'm asking Peter.
You tell me what it was.
Yeah, it wasn't.
What was my question?
No, you're the one who's running the script. What's the question? Ask me again, and I bet it's going to be different again.
Are all your beliefs, do they derive from some ultimate commitment?
I don't have beliefs, so how would I answer that question?
Peter's answering that.
Well, you can't. Okay, you just uttered a proposition. Okay, and in order for you to utter that proposition,
I just told you the truth about.
You're over talking me.
Listen, this is ridiculous.
Okay,
this is ridiculous.
I know.
I need to
clarify because you didn't understand.
Okay, again, you're over talking me. Okay.
Yeah, I said I needed
what
to
I'm trying to explain to you is
what I said.
Okay, I'll try again. Okay, so you guys want to overtalk? It's a little game you will play. Okay, it's absurd to say that you do not have any beliefs because that is a belief statement too. Whenever you utter propositions, okay. Let me explain it to you, Peter. Okay, I don't want to have to ignore you. I can kill my sound when you're over talking me, and that way I won't hear you, Gio. Okay. Now, Peter, when you offer propositions, if you say the sky is blue, that is equivalent to the proposition, it is true the sky is blue, right? Both of those propositions.
It's not a belief though.
It most certainly is.
It is a knowledge claim that I can demonstrate. I can take you outside. I can point up.
You're not understanding, Peter. In philosophy, knowledge claims are a subcategory of belief.
I know.
Okay. So if you make any knowledge claims, you are by default making a belief claim. There is a distinction, though, between knowledge. Explain it to me. This is about the third time you've overtalked me. If you don't want me to continue talking with you, I will ignore you when you overtalk me. Let me finish.
You can try and read my mind.
You're being rude and obnoxious. Now, I'll just give you one more warning. Overtalk me again, and I will stop talking with you. Okay? Now, okay. When it comes to
you do have your thing, Peter. Go for it.
I'm trying to explain to you. You have an incorrect notion of belief and knowledge. Knowledge is a subset of beliefs. If you have knowledge about something, then it is by fault a belief. A knowledge claim is a belief, but not all belief claims are knowledge. Okay? Knowledge is a justified, true belief. Okay? A warranted belief that is deemed to be true.
Okay, Peter, can you address that, please? Can you address that, Peter?
Yeah, I can address that really easily, actually. Because if I'm asked about a belief claim, but I go one step further and say, well, I only have knowledge claims, that means that I do have beliefs, but I have taken those a step further. And I make a distinction to mere belief claims and knowledge claims. And
in philosophy, they don't do that.
I'm not aware anywhere in philosophy where that distinction isn't made.
In philosophy, okay, all knowledge claims are beliefs, but they are beliefs that are warranted and justified.
And not all belief claims are knowledge claims. So if you ask me about my beliefs, I need to clarify and say that I only do knowledge claims, no belief claims.
All right, listen, dude, I'm not trying to be mean here. You simply do not know what you're talking about.
No, you refuse to make the distinction.
No, you're not.
If you ask me about my beliefs,
listen.
If you ask me about and I'm talking.
In philosophy, you know what epistemology is?
No, I'm talking.
All right, you're an idiot.
Yeah. If you ask me about my beliefs, I could be dishonest and tell you that I have beliefs. I do not have beliefs. I go by knowledge.
Okay,
so
you don't know anything.
I need to make that distinction so you know where I'm coming from.
Good. Can you tell me?
If you're going to ignore that and talk over me and pretend that you can read my mind, then you've got another thing coming, because that's not going to happen.
Yeah, you're quite the hypocrite, because you have been over talking me chronically.
No, you're on. Go ahead. I'll mute myself. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, that would be good. That way you won't be rude. Now you say you have knowledge claims. Okay. Now, can you tell? Do you accept the designation that a knowledge claim of a proposition is a justified or warranted true belief?
Yes, and it's not merely a belief claim.
Right. That's what distinguishes knowledge from simply a belief. Okay.
You got it.
Okay. Now, so you say every single one of the propositions that you hold to in your head and that you affirm, are they all justified?
They have to, otherwise I couldn't make a claim. I couldn't justify the claim.
Okay. Do you hold to the proposition that the world operates in regular ways?
No.
Okay, well then if you don't, then everything you say is incoherent, because coherency and intelligibility require... Shut the fuck up. I'm talking.
Okay, if you're going to be rude, I'm going to be talking over you. If I will go outside with my dog will run in every single direction.
I was talking. Shut the fuck up.
I don't care. If you're going to use curse words, I'm just going to talk over you, because that means that you're not even qualified to talk to me. You can either be cordial because you're a guest on MathPig's channel, or you cannot. If you're going to need curse words, then you are a child who isn't able to speak. Now you can talk.
Okay. Now, overtalk me again, and I will no longer respond to you, okay? You don't know what you're talking about. Now, the uniformity of nature...
Hey, man, he don't control this channel, man.
Okay, MathPig, are you going to moderate or not? Listen, you invited me to come on here.
Yes.
I do not mind people disagreeing with me, but I do mind these dudes here being over the top, obnoxious, and over talking me. And yeah, I did get angry at Swear because you're acting like a jerk. Now, you told me you don't hold to the uniformity of nature. Now, hold on a second. Now, the uniformity of nature is going to be a prerequisite for intelligibility. When you you know what? Peter, if you're not going to mute his microphone, listen one more time, and I'm leaving. I'm trying to explain something to you that you're ignorant on, and it's very obvious with your dumb smile on your face that you're attempting. Okay, all right, MathPig, I'll see you later. You want to let these?
Didn't I just kick him?
Now, I'm going to explain something to you that you don't understand, right? Either you affirm the uniformity of nature, or you don't. Now, the uniformity of nature is a necessary precondition for human intelligibility. In order to speak intelligibly about this world, one of the principal presuppositions, in order to have unity among diversity, is that there is a uniformity of nature. Now, are we clear? Do you affirm or not affirm the uniformity of nature?
So before I answer that, I want to express that this is a completely different question. So ask me the question that you asked before, and I will still say no.
Okay. Do you affirm the uniformity? Listen, dude, listen to me. I'm not playing your little games. I asked you a legitimate question. You said you only have knowledge states. Okay. I ask you, do you know that there's a uniformity of nature? I'm asking you, do you affirm or not affirm via a knowledge claim? I'm talking.
Okay.
Do you affirm or not affirm? I'm talking.
You have to let him answer, and you'll not shout at me.
Last chance. Okay. All right. I'll see you later.
Bye. Then leave. If you're gonna leave, leave.
I really wanted him to finish that, because that was a different question that he asked than he asked before. The question that he asked before is that there was oh shit, there goes the
Hey Artemis.
Artie's in the house. Hey Artie.
Hi everybody.
You.
Hi Artie.
So why did you add him
I'm gonna scratch your head a little.
After parties never work out. Just to point out, after parties that was never going to end well, because there's too many of us and only one of him, and it's unfair. Yeah. And it was never going to work out.
I really wish he had stayed, because the question that he asked was
Peter, I'm going to mute you for a second. No. Yeah, I'm going to mute you for a second. No, I just wanted to say that was never going to be fair, and it was unfair for him to come in against 6 people. There was people over talking. I didn't appreciate that. I did need to kick someone at the time, and after parties catch fire.
I mean, if you're able to have a conversation, then you can at least grant the other person to talk as well. But if you're going to ask a question, and then while someone is answering, as you say, clarify the question, which ends up in asking a completely different question, then you're going to muddy the water. That's what he did the entire time with Randolph. He asked the question in the middle of Randolph's answer. He restated the question and ended up asking a completely different question. The question he asked, I don't even remember the wording exactly, is that the world ran in a uniform way. That's not the case. If I walk my dog, every single time it's going to be different, because my dog is nuts when she's outside. There is no uniformity in all of this. It's going to be different every single time. There are accidents that happen every single day. Those are not uniformities.
What he's looking for is uniformity, in the sense that what I wasn't able to finish earlier. I was doing 2 things. So basically my argument is this. All right, you have an argument such as something like math, 2 + 2 is 4. We know that is objective. We know that it has truth to it. That's basically what he's asking you to do to prove your point of view. In my opinion, when you're stating something as objective as a math equation, something as objective as a color, there's no need to argue that. There's no need to discuss that because that's in our vocabulary, that's in our knowledge. What we do find ourselves arguing is something as inconsistent as God. So for him to sit there and say, hey, I have something that's objective and I call it God, point out the fact that we are arguing because there is no objectivity. We don't waste our time with math, colors, or vocabulary, or things we do to exist. And those are the things that people are missing out on.
Yeah, you're right. I jumped in angrily and said color's not subjective, and that was the point that you were trying to make.
You were angry, Adi?
No,
I didn't say I was angry about it. No, he definitely said some shit that made me angry. Don't get me wrong.
Angry.
The number of assertions that he made without ever substantiating that his God was possible, or how he decided that his God was possible. That
he's never answered that question anywhere. That's why I really want to have a talk with him on our channel. But he needs to know that there are rules, and he can't overtake an entire channel, and he can't make rules that aren't applicable because it's not his channel, and that's the only problem that he has.
Randolph, I think you were above and beyond what could possibly be construed as sufficiently polite. I think you did Canada very proud.
Yep.
Well, thanks. I'm more interested in these debates, including conversation, because I think they go better when we have a better understanding of everybody's views more clearly. And I think polite conversations is a great way to get there.
The narcissistic, the way he, you finally succumb to the notion. Fine, everything I say is fucking random, you moron. And then he couldn't stop spiking the fucking ball. Like, for those of us who had any clue what the fuck we just watched, no, dude, you can let go of that ball, but you didn't win by browbeating a man into submission, where he finally just says, to get you to shut up and get off of this topic, fine.
I don't think that browbeating people is a win. I think that's...
He certainly does.
Well, yeah. And you remember one of the Star Trek Next Generation episodes where Commander Data was playing some kind of chess game with an alien species that were always winning, and then he changed his strategy and they couldn't beat him anymore. And then they asked him, why is it that we can't beat you now? And he says, because I'm not trying to win. So it was always stalemate, and it was kind of interesting. And I think that using this kind of an approach in debate in some ways can actually be helpful, because it can cause a person to move aside from what they're normally arguing and attempt to go into different tactics.
It's helpful if the person you are arguing with or debating with is honest in their debating,
or has any sense of decency.
When they're honest, you don't need.
Shannon is the perfect example. The Shannon debate is the perfect example, because all she did.
I'm hearing about it a lot.
It's good. All she did was ask clarifying questions to nail him down, and he took that as aggressively usurping the conversation.
Yeah, but I think it's a good style that she's using. It's I don't see any problem with that. I think it's good to have clarification.
I think I had the same thing with I think I had the same thing with Sage and Bruggencate. Once you throw them off of their script, they're going to respond aggressively, because now they have nothing to throw at you.
They've got to actually think.
One thing I've noticed seems to happen with a lot of theists in these debates is they'll bifurcate. They'll have this bifurcated false dilemma that either God is with you or you're against. Either you're with God or you're against him. And I noticed that with the questions he's asking. He'll ask me and I'll say, well, I don't have a position on it. Then he says, well, he'll redefine and say, well, therefore you're against it. He's saying, oh, I have a position.
He spent a lot of time telling you who you were, what you thought, and what you... Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I learn a lot from adversaries about myself.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's probably not true.
And they've all got different perspectives, they tell you. I enjoy learning about myself this way.
Yeah, that is... Actually, in all honesty, there's probably at least one person watching this who knows full well that that's not a real popular thing, especially in the United States, for somebody to say, well, if you don't think that, then you think this. And that gets a very negative response from especially people like me. If you want to tell me what I think, then why am I even talking to you? You obviously have already had this conversation with yourself, and you know what I'm going to say. So why don't you tell me what I'm going to say right now?
Yeah, that's a good way to deal with it. Now, and I suspect that it's also an attempt to try to get the adversary to take a position. So he wants me to take a position about God, and I'm saying it's not a position. And that was kind of interesting, bit of a tussle there at the beginning, and it's kind of he went on to something else because I think he didn't want to go there.
Yeah, he didn't want to hear about how you don't believe there's a God, so you live your life as though you don't believe there's a God.
Right. And then I liked later on that near the end he said he actually affirmed that's okay to not believe in something.
Right. Yeah, I wonder how much of his life he actually spends living up to these ideals that he appears to have about what other people have to say and what level of knowledge they have to say about the things that they're telling him. Because he makes these assumptions about what you can and can't know or what you can and can't justify. So if you're talking to someone and you don't know what religion they have, if any, how do you operate in the world?
Yeah. Well, actually, a lot of the time when I'm talking with people, friends and acquaintances and whatnot, and they're asking me about atheism, and then later on they're saying, I noticed you didn't ask me about my religion. I said, oh, well, I can ask you now. And some of them find it kind of interesting because not everything is centered on that. I said, I'm just another person who's interesting to talk with, and that's it. And I think that's a better way to go. Because a lot of the time it really isn't important. It's a private matter. But if people ask, I'm happy to talk about it. I just don't want to be intrusive the other way,
Yeah, I'm confident that I break that rule going the opposite direction.
Does anybody want to take the sword for the team and let Lilith in?
Yeah, I will go. I was going to go to bed. So,
yeah, Dave, one question before you leave. That little thing that you're working on, how's that coming?
Badly at the moment. I haven't been able to do anything on it in 2 days.
I set it up anyway, Peter. I did it manually in your damn server.
No. We're not talking about that.
Right. We'll talk about it later.
I'll hit you up later, Dave.
All right then. Catch you tomorrow.
Thanks.
Love
Dave.
you, Dave.
Thanks as always.
Good night, everyone.
Night,
bye, Dave.
Hello, Lilith.
Hey, lads.
Hey, Lilith.
How are you?
Lilith.
Hello.
Hello. Well, I'm on my phone, so if things get too spotty, yeah, I'll change to something a little bit more reliable. But how is everyone doing tonight?
We're good.
Having fun.
Remarkably
Can I
calm.
throw Darth off of a bridge or something?
Sure.
I'm delighted.
Did you enjoy the talk, Lilith? Do tell.
It's not. The only options are not absolute authority-based and totally arbitrary. That's the thing. I never admit to arbitrary, and I never admit to subjective until they're clear about what they mean by that. Because, God, these idiots.
Good point.
Yeah.
How do you think I could have handled it better? Because I did clarify a number of times for him. I meant arbitrary within the scope of his question.
Of course. I understand that. And then he took it as absolute. It's
Yeah.
more a case of that type of dishonest hack. You kind of can't agree to any of their terms.
Yeah.
I don't like playing like that because it doesn't feel honest, but at the same time,
I had mentioned earlier that the thing that was inescapable to me was he kept asking you this same ridiculous question without ever justifying that any of what he just said was possible, any of what he said was true, or that any of what he said was demonstrably true.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's
the
the part I
thing.
missed.
With
I missed
people
as well.
like these, they don't even understand that demonstrable is a necessity. Like, you have to make a point that you have to demonstrate your shit. And I mean, the thing is that he constantly kept saying, without the God of Christianity, the God of the Bible, blah, blah, blah. Like, he was already putting himself into an obviously false arbitrary, because, like, let's face it, there's no universe in which, well, okay, not there's no universe in which, but in this universe, his God is not the only God concept, and hasn't been for a very, very, very long time.
Yeah, once you grant him his God and his worldview, you can't go back on that. So, and that is what happens with him in every single conversation I have seen so far. He's granted his worldview, and no one is questioning him about it. No one is asking him to demonstrate that his God exists, or is, as Artemis just said, is even possible. No one is questioning his Bible. He claims that God has revealed himself in 2 different ways, which he doesn't demonstrate that actually happens.
Yeah, prove it happened to me, even if you say it does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and those are the things that I really would want to question him about. So
well, there's no such
he'll
thing
probably,
as revealed knowledge.
Not come on our channel anymore. Yeah, you'll probably not come on our channel anymore. I hope that you can.
I'd say
There's no such thing as revealed knowledge.
He's a narcissist.
There never was.
Oh yeah, that's what all this ball spiking at the end was about. Was that he couldn't stop saying how, well, you've already admitted that. Well, okay, we get it, Cy. We've seen this fucking shit.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
That was
why
better.
You can never agree with him, because he's not going to admit that you're agreeing with what you said you're agreeing with. That's the thing. You have to attack the presuppositions underlying it. The idea that such a thing as revealed knowledge is even conceivably possible.
Yeah, I think not. Rather than saying I agree with you, I acquiesce to your need to be correct.
Yeah, never, ever agree with that kind of person, because they're not arguing in good faith, and they're not arguing from a point of view of even attempting to understand. What they're trying to do is bully you into something that looks like agreement with a highly warped epistemology that exists only to serve their needs, not because it's actually based in reality or anything like that. And then attempt to,
I wouldn't even call it an epistemology. It's a script. It's literally just a script.
It's possible that is the closest he can come to an epistemology, because he is either that stupid naturally, or his brain has been that shut down and what's the word? Colonized by faith.
True.
I had Saitem Bruggenkate on the show.
They're not both true.
Lilith, I had Saitem Bruggenkate on the show, and I literally started the show with a video clip that he has deleted from his website because people got to ask him questions about that. And that is where he actually tells people that he didn't come up with presuppositionalism. He found it on Google. He didn't have a revelation from God. He had a revelation from Google.
Google is a god that actually works.
What's this?
I did want to get into this. I would have liked to have gotten into this with Duncan, because I did post this on Twitter quite some time ago. That, and I'll just read it out for the audience. Says, "What will it take to prove to me, an atheist, that your all-knowing and all-powerful deity is real? To prove your deity is real, all that he or she needs to do is grant me omniscience and omnipotence for about a week, so that I can verify all of this for myself."
Sure.
Yeah, and so it would have been interesting to hear his perspective on this if we're able to bring this up in the debate. I would have liked to have posed this question to him.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna switch to something that doesn't suck. Hang on.
I usually do the opposite. But
you know what's funny about that posting is I find the most interesting is that a lot of people have written back, not that it's reason for not doing it, but oh, you wouldn't need a whole week to do it. You could just do it in a second. They're trying to negotiate the time frame.
That could be interesting.
Wish it into existence.
Yeah, hang on a second. I gotta move like this first. Okay, I'm good.
Oh.
Hang on a second. That wore me the fuck out. I'm gonna need it today.
You're going to need a joint, is what you're going to need, Artemis.
I'm gonna need it today. At least 24 hours. Name it after some other god. I don't care.
Artie, I hate to break it to you, but you don't have 24 hours. Tomorrow on this channel, there's going to be another
Wait a minute.
little chat that is going to leave you to the point where you will be ripping both the quilt and the flag behind you apart.
First of all, what do you mean that I don't have 24 hours? What do you know?
You're learning about yourself now, Artemis.
Yeah, maybe a little too much, actually. I'm not sure I wanted to know that fucking number.
I know. I already know too much. You know, I know too much.
For crying out loud, I'm not going to make.
I'm not going to spill the beans here. I mean, I know that was the title of your show on MathPig's channel. Artie spills the beans and then comes on and had no beans whatsoever.
I don't know. Hey, that was not any of my deed. I don't know what
call things. I'm running out of things to say.
About was leaving idiots in suspense.
You can't keep saying I talk to person. I talk to person. Oh look, I chat with person. Yeah, fucking spill the beans. It's fun. Yeah.
Artie, it's keeping a moron in suspense. I have watched those videos so many times. I think I know the contents of the videos better than you do. And it's time we get a few new ones.
Yes, dear.
Yes, dear. Get to work.
You two are ridiculous. It's awesome.
Appreciate your
if you run into people like Darth Dawkins and tomorrow Jill, you need some form of entertainment to counter that. And to me, that was Artie's channel when I discovered Artie on another channel. And then he stopped making videos. And then he started bitching that he didn't have an intro. So after 18 months, I did make him an intro. And
you're a paragon of virtue.
All of this shit is true, but just a little bit askew. A shoe, if you will.
A shoe?
Askew by a shoe.
I noticed that some people call it a shoe, and it screws me up. So I had to pronunciate it that way for the people that put their syllables in the wrong emphasis.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, I can't imagine who that would be.
Hello, can you hear me?
By the way, Artie, do you have the private chat in here?
I'm streaming.
Yeah.
I'm streaming.
Oh, Christ. Okay, I will.
No, it's not him. It's not him. It's not him. It's one of the servants.
Wow.
So Lilith,
I don't even know who you're talking about. You got me all fucked up. Just tell me who it is in the side chat so I don't have to do this.
If I say 2 for 1, will that help?
No, you don't have to be cryptic in the fucking private chat.
Say.
Okay, I'll be public. Hi, Jeff Sellers. How come you showed up after I DM'd you several times and you never responded? Your brother never responded, so I just left it there.
Who's Jeff?
You were responding to everyone but me, and now you're all cheery and it's hi, Peter. Why? Just had to throw that out there.
Who's Jeff?
All right,
I don't know what's going on.
Ladies
But
and gentlemen,
I'm not running the YouTube videos so that I don't interfere with anything. I'm at one point when I first got on, I was running out of the on my phone sort of through Twitter to it was a mess. So I'm like, I'm not going to overtax the servers.
that was very considerate of you.
It's more me than anything. I know I'm.
Oh, don't make it about you.
Oh, hush.
by the
Everything's
way-
about me. I am a beautiful woman. Everything is about me. Let's be honest. We all know this.
I want to make it about you, Lilith. Have you found a scale yet that we can measure you by?
intimidation.
You
Intimidation.
know, you're
Posting on
very
Twitter.
lucky that I know what you're talking about.
Wow,
or
yeah,
you
that
would
was
be
not.
75 types of dead.
That was not well put.
You would not be dead. You would be begging for death.
Yeah. Scale by which we could measure.
My badassery. Basically, there was a tweet on how intimidating are you. You were meant to rate yourself from 1 to 10.
By
And
the
of
way, you're
course-
welcome. I just bailed your ass out.
Yeah, you're
What?
welcome, Peter.
What?
Thanks, man.
That was hilarious. That post. I like that.
Yeah, I know. And I'm going like, I am not really the best judge of how intimidating I am. So scale of 1 to 10, how intimidating am I?
I am. I get to sit back and relax and play good guy if you're on with me with certain people, not with everyone, because
Some people don't need the strong arm, and some
No,
people are idiots.
we've had conversations where
Sometimes
you're really respectful to a guest, and you ask exactly the right questions, so I can sit back again and relax. But yeah. You don't do bullshit and word salad well, do you?
I don't suffer fools gladly.
No.
It's weird how many friends Peter has that have that condition.
Probably the fools will find you intimidating.
I have a different condition. Just go ask MathPig, because we had a conversation about a certain Discord server, and I had made someone a promise, and I drove him nuts because I wanted it exactly the way I wanted it, and he said that's not going to work, and I said, "Fuck you, I want it," and so I have it. But Artie, you're still not on Discord, are you?
Peter's the Jesus.
No, hold on. Artie, are you on Discord?
What? Who's Discord? Yes, I have the app.
Okay.
Exactly.
Because we do have a Discord server, and funny enough, there's someone in there named Carl who beat you to it. He pretends to be a turtle, but I'm pretty sure it's Carl.
Who is it?
Do you know what I'm going to do? Right?
No.
Look what's in the live chat. There you go. There's in the live chat, there's a link to your Discord, Peter. It's limited to 10 people and will disappear very quickly. So hit the button.
There you go, MathPig.
Man, I can't log in right now.
Now, Randolph,
you
how
Not
intimidating
my
do you think
Discord
I am?
server?
I want ratings from someone other than Peter.
I don't fucking Discord. It's one more thing than I do.
Yeah, see, the problem is people have been asking, why do you not have a Discord server? Because people want to talk. People want to
Hey,
talk.
Randolph, I just wanted to say that there's several things that I don't do. One of them is curling. Never done any curling. I don't much. I know it's fairly popular
Oh, okay.
in Canada that you do the curling thing. In fact, the local curling club is less than a mile from me. So there's not a good reason that I don't. I just haven't. That's just a thing that you should know about me.
Hold on.
Peter,
I
shut
got
the
a
fuck
picture.
up. Somebody else would like to say
I got a
something
picture
about
of you.
something.
That's funny. That's
I'd also like to say that I've never raised chickens.
Okay.
Never once.
Peter's still going. He doesn't realize he's muted.
Randolph, is there something you'd like to tell us?
Unmute him, seriously.
Hockey's more popular than curling here.
Curling.
Regarding
Drinking is more popular than curling.
My dad has a neighbor who raises chickens and cows and some other animals, and he's in the city.
And the curling thing is true. It's less than a mile from here. I grew up here. I lived here for I don't know, 30-ish years of my 50, and had no idea that such a club existed here until I moved right up the street from it.
Where you're in Canada, right?
No, I'm in Indiana.
Oh, Indiana. Oh, okay. Oh,
Northern
wow.
Indiana. So
You've got a curling club there. That's
close.
interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
He doesn't live
I
with
won't.
us
I
same
won't dox.
people.
I won't dox Artie, but he's into the same sport as Trump is.
Ugh.
Wait,
Go
let's
and wash yourself.
golf.
Something to do with cats, I think.
much bigger NFL fan than I am a golfer.
Okay, but is it really a sport if you pay someone to go around and pretend that you hit the ball forward and drop a spare one for you so you can pretend you got under par every time?
Here's one admission that I'm willing to make. I, too, have been riding around in a golf cart to play golf because I have largely been remarkably sedentary over the last few years.
Mobility scooter with a roof.
And that largely resulted in the last heart attack I had less than a year ago. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
to
watch yourself.
have some amount of exercise, I ride in the fucking cart, which the president also does. One thing that you will never have
I
seen
can't
me do,
believe you called him that.
no matter how drunk I was, is to drive that onto the green of a golf course because I know how hard it is to get a surface to do that. Greens are remarkably smooth, and if you drive something heavy across it, it's going to display shit from underneath and make it very difficult to get that little ridge out that you just put in that green. And the president does it like, I'll just drive right up next to the hole and grab my ball out of it because fuck it, I own this place. Who cares what kind of experience anybody playing behind me has? I didn't have to get out of my cart to get my ball out of the hole.
Yeah, stop calling the orange,
Please.
whatever the fuck he is, the P word, because
He has no
I
respect.
once used to long ago respect the office of President of the United States, and
Yeah,
I will
no
not
more.
refer to the spray-tanned, shit-flinging, mentally subnormal Gibbon as that.
I'm not.
Lilith,
I'm
Few
not.
more adjectives.
Tell us how you really feel, Lilith.
Yeah, I'm not prepared to
Everyone
acquiesce.
says that.
I'm
Stop
not
being
prepared
such
to
a
acquiesce to
chicken
that
shit.
particular demand. However, I had never put the P word and the T words together.
Fair enough.
And Artie, stop calling it a cart. It's a mobility scooter with a roof. Stop calling that a cart.
Mobility scooter for two.
Yeah.
Yeah, mobility scooters is for single.
That's a fucking
Yeah.
thing to happen.
In case you might bring a friend or make
So
a friend.
it's a love seat for the perpetually lazy.
Well, largely, it's just one vehicle, one more vehicle that's beyond the means of Peter.
What would I do with a mobility scooter? I couldn't even get to my house.
But you could get to your fucking mailbox.
No, because my mailbox is in town, and if I'm in my house, I need to get the mobility scooter through the mud.
But four-wheel cars will travel on roads.
Yeah,
It's not going to work.
So, Randy, do you want to reassess my intimidation score now?
I don't find you intimidating, but I think you're a very nice person.
Oh, she's offended. Is she not
But I can see why
intimidating
fools
enough?
would find you intimidating.
You can see why who would find me intimidating?
Fools.
Yeah, fools aren't intelligent enough to find me intimidating.
Well, no,
I would hang them by their wits if they had any.
Which reminds me, Lilith, do you still see our dear friend Johan on Twitter? Or
I don't know. I've muted him. He keeps trying to drag me into conversations about how you're only opposing him because you're full of the devil.
Yeah,
And you know,
no, I don't know. That conversation those conversations have been muted. I haven't seen them since.
I have reported so many tweets that Twitter has shadow banned him for me.
Very nice.
I have to literally have to go to his timeline to see his tweets directed at me.
Oh, I did such a loss.
I think I already reported 30 or more because he keeps tagging in people, and I told him, if you want to have a conversation, great. Don't tag in 10 people because that's going to mess up my mentions, and I don't want
He's a delusional schizophrenic with narcissistic delusions of grandeur. What the fuck do you expect?
Yeah, and I know how to play him because he still wants to talk to you, Lilith. He still wants to talk to Robert, and I told him.
Remember when he tried to pretend I ran away when I waited extra half an hour for him and was like, oh, the load shedding is worse tomorrow, let's not do that?
Lilith, the way our conversation ended, he wants more from me.
Mm-hmm.
That shit did not go well for him.
And let me clarify, this was the one and only time Artie actually came to me the next day and apologized for being Artie. That has never happened.
Artie, why would you do that? I mean, don't get me wrong, there are times, but Johan deserves all the shit you can throw at his delusional fucking...
Artie watched the conversation. Saw that I had a fairly cordial conversation, and then he came in. I don't know what would you call it. It's beyond guns blazing. I think.
I had been with my parents and was listening to the conversation while I was with my parents. So I couldn't react in any way to what I was listening to because I was with my parents who hate the fact that I'm an atheist. I won't go into it. But yeah, so I had been listening for 45 minutes or something about that speed when I finally
while driving a car, and I was completely surprised that you didn't push the gas pedal through the floor of the car to get home.
9 miles an hour over is what the family, it's what Dad will allow me to do from the back seat without me wanting to kill him.
Yes, family murder is bad and will interrupt the flow of your day significantly, just for practical considerations.
So when I joined, I came in with this, I was very contrite. I apologized for the fact that I was late. I apologized for interrupting the flow of the conversation the two of them were obviously having. And
then you napalmed the fucker.
He turned into the cartoon figure, and I forgot his name. The Australian animal that
Danger Mouse? Oh
no.
Marsupial or Monotreme?
Tasmanian Devil.
Tasmanian Devil. That was it.
Wow.
The Warner Brothers version of that is hilarious.
Yeah. So he came in and everything was okay, and then snap, and he went completely berserk, and I loved it.
I did wait for him to say something to me before I lashed into the what the fuck is wrong with you? What the hell are you talking about?
The problem is he's completely delusional.
Ask me something. I want to have a go.
Randolph, I don't know if you saw any of that or not, or you're uber aware of exactly who it is we're speaking of, but it's not a quality human being we're describing. I
kind of gathered that.
Randolph, to explain this to you, we're talking about the wife of God, who is a 59-year-old male, who will turn you into Jesus, if not God himself. And the moment you start talking to him, you automatically become his child.
Which is so fucking creepy.
He has to preach himself into a house of a family that's now taking care of him.
Yeah, and he's convinced how old is their son?
18.
So
Is he 18? Yeah, he's convinced their 18-year-old son that he is Jesus because this wife of God said so. And she had born him spiritually, and now he's grooming their 3-year-old daughter, was it? Or
Yeah. And what you don't know is that earlier today, Ronaldo contacted me to go back on the show. Before that, Robert had contacted me if we're going to do a show today, and I said I haven't had any confirmation, and I'm not going to set up a show again and then have someone not show up. So that's not going to happen. He needs to confirm at least a day in advance.
Fair.
But just by pressuring Johan that he can't come on anymore until Ronaldo has been on, apparently it worked.
Hey, thanks everybody. I'm going to have to go.
Randolph,
this was a blast.
Yeah, Randolph as well. I'm getting tired. I have that
good
thing
to talk to you again, Randolph.
I was absolutely sincere that your ability to cope with the amount of horse shit that was thrown at you, the number of insults that were levied against you, and for you to continue to be just flat out polite and let all of that shit bounce off of you, I thought was an absolute.
That was the most Canadian epic thing I have ever seen.
Absolutely a testament to your character as a man and a Canadian.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate that.
Really, thank you, man. I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate everything you do in the backstage and all that as well. Not the back door, the backstage. But just
what you
I'm gonna
two
leave
get
this
up
open.
to in your back doors is none of our business.
What's wrong with the back door?
Yeah, you can keep hanging out if you want, but I have a half bottle of wine to drink that I'm not getting through because I'm doing all of this.
Before you go, do you want to plug your show tomorrow? Because I think people might want to go and watch.
One second. Totally not for your. This is all Peter's work, but hold on. That worked? Right.
I do have to go. I'll talk to you later. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye, Randolph.
Good night, Randolph.
Catch you later, Randolph.
And we have. Oh, let me be able to pause this. Volume is up. Yes, I'm describing everything I'm doing because I'm that sort of guy. 1 second. Okay, hold on. I'm still doing stuff.
Like a gamer.
This is self-production, man. Anybody want to come produce for Robbie?
No.
And we're gonna go to this. Then I'm going to hit this. Then this. Nobody can see what I'm doing. And this. And this. Boom.
So you're going to hit the button and then hit the button again, and then in the afternoon you'll have to hit the button a third time?
Lilith, you're interrupting me. I'm very nearly close to hit the button.
Hitting buttons is a bad thing.
Hey, does nobody get the reference I'm making?
Every time I hear button now, I think Mr. Atheist.
Button.
Hey, I made one too.
Yeah.
But I was referring to the Jetsons.
And I was not.
Tomorrow night. Alright, don't make me mute every one of you. I'm gonna fucking mute you all, right? This is happening tomorrow night at 10 p.m. on UK time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 Central, and 3 West Coast. Am I right in that, Peter?
No. 2 West Coast.
2 West Coast. I got one wrong.
And West Coast is called Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'll figure it out.
Hold on.
They know. Anything west of Mountain Time,
right.
Pacific. I'll figure it out.
Well, you can shut up.
Totally should have played that at the end of tonight's video instead of muting.
And the fun, Artie, the fun, you're gonna love this. The fun part is, I told MathPig that I had a standard video for if there's an important confrontation. And I showed him that, and he really liked that. And then I found out that After Effects has dropped a lot of the Apple codecs, so I'll never be able to use that particular one again. I spent an entire night making this.
I know the man didn't sleep.
I didn't go to sleep and talk to MathPig the next morning after he woke up, and then he was at work. And I said, I got something to show you. And he said, I'll be home later. And when he was home, I had crashed for some reason. I was on the couch and everything went dark. And I woke up in the middle of the night.
It's so weird that you slept. Fucking vampire.
He had to wait an additional day. And, well, at least he got a few more things.
I really appreciate Peter. Really appreciate all the work you do. I've got you shouted out in all my descriptions now that are coming forward. I ain't going back to 100 videos and changing them. So there's shout outs forward, shout outs for Sal in the top right hand corner who does most of my work. All like, you know, if you're looking, people, this is all Sal. You know, this is all Easeism Works up in the top right hand corner. The ship. You can't see, but everybody else can see the ship, the avatar. You know.
Wow, you're the man.
All the 2D work is all Sal. All the 3D work is Peter. Yeah,
Peter great below, work, Peter.
Peter below does all the 3D work and the intros. Sal does all my 2D work. You know, I wouldn't be here without the support of the people around me.
And now we're going to do something which I need a little bit of Sal's help. And we're going to make his 2D thing.
Yeah, I've muted him. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. You're giving away the spoilers.
I think on Twitter. Have you seen it? Left your head the way it is, and then the little tiny rag doll that every time you moved your head, it would jerk and jangle, and
Artie,
your whole body would. Just...
Artie.
How's Carl?
Peter. I've hit you on Twitter. Have you seen your DMs?
Artie, how's Carl? How's Carl tonight? I haven't seen him. Is he doing okay?
Oh, he got rolled into the floor. It was a horrible accident involving the chair that he usually sits on.
Well, on that note, have per Carl, love for Carl. Do you want to give Artie some love? Artie, have you anything coming up on your channel? No, probably not. Shall we move on to Easeism? Well, do you know what I'll do? I'll make it a fair go. I'll give Peter twice as I'll give Peter twice as much time.
Fuck you!
Because that's the only place that you're gonna be.
Pigs aren't free of beans!
Thank you, MathPig.
Sal, do you want to give your website a shout out? Give Sal's website. Sal takes Tonka trucks and graffitis Tonka trucks, both in real life and in toy form, and the box.
Sal, you're a man.
You haven't seen
I
Sal's.
just grew up doing that. Thank you.
You'll find me doing that.
Easeism.com. Gio, have you not seen the website? Amazing. Lilith, have you anything coming up on Veritas Voices?
Lilith.
We lost Peter. Oh, we can.
Uh-oh. What happened to Lilith?
Lilith?
Oh, sorry.
Veritas Voices, this channel
there.
that you have, that's
A
actually
little preoccupied, Lilith?
Lilith.
You make it sound so sinister.
Anti-Canadian.
Anything happening on your channel, Lilith? No? Yes? Possibility?
Yeah, Lilith, when's your next video coming out on your channel?
Ugh. Don't ask me that.
Lilith also has a Discord.
This is the problem with my co-hosts. I make them an intro and they stop creating.
See what happens.
That's
if you
why
keep creating,
I make my own intros.
Peter's made me 2 intros because I create 3 times a week.
Sounds like somebody's timing sucks.
Right, Gio, have you anything on yours?
He didn't go there.
Gio, have you anything coming
I
up?
gotta slip out, guys.
Yeah,
Sorry
ending
about
now.
that.
We're ending now. Anyway.
Well,
I'll
you know,
talk to
I'd
you
like
later,
to
okay?
say, oh, what,
Peter.
Lilith?
Peter, I
I've
will
got
send
to
you.
go.
Bye, Lilith.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
Lilith. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Gio,
Good
have
night.
you anything happening? Probably drawing.
Well, I'm glad you asked. Because, no. But I would just like to say that.
Okay.
I was
only
so
because-
hoping that was going to
It's only because I haven't received any requests.
You're
The
back.
I
only
haven't
answer to
received
that
any.
that wasn't any
It's only
better.
because I haven't received.
The only answer to that.
Should
that
I
wasn't
keep
any
going?
better.
Or-
Go,
That's
Gio,
none of your
go.
business.
Wait, where am I? Wait, I can't find myself. Oh, there I am.
You can't find yourself?
No, I'm only. It's a joke.
So
It's a
what's
streaming
happening?
joke.
Okay, what's happening? What's happening on the GeoSam website?
But no, I'm waiting for the influx of all the information so I can start making the videos. But no one's giving me any information, so I can't really do anything with it, right?
Freestyling.
Right, I have to freestyle, and then I have to make up my own things. I've done that in the past, and I have uploaded. My most viewed video is a T-shirt video that is irrelevant. A T-shirt, mock-up video that's irrelevant,
Right. Well,
and
on
it's the most viewed, and it's like ridiculous. It's irrelevant. The software used to demonstrate what I'm trying to do is irrelevant. But the software I'm trying to do what people request, and I'm part of a website that is involved in the program GIMP, which is a free alternative to Photoshop. If no one knows about that, they should really look into it, because GIMP is really the way to go. If you don't want to pay out your nose or your whatever orifice you want to use for a Photoshop, you can use GIMP. And there's a lot of things you can add to GIMP, and GIMP is very customizable.
Geo,
In any case,
put
digress.
And
your
you can have
channel
a lot
in
of
the right chat.
plugins, so it would be compatible with a lot of stuff that Photoshop makes.
Oh,
It's
see, now,
really,
Yep, that's
it's really
correct.
good.
You're
It's really
correct,
good if you
Peter.
don't want to spend money.
You can use the program. You can augment other programs with GIMP. You can use GIMP to augment other programs. But that's what I do. I make videos about using the program GIMP. I'm a graphic artist, and that's what my channel is about. If anyone wants to learn how to use GIMP and they want to learn how to do something with the program GIMP, all they have to do is leave a comment and say, I want to know how to do blank or whatever it is. And I'll see, and I'll make a video of it.
Right. On that, everybody, thank you very much for turning up. And yeah, Geo likes gimps. He will make anything you ask if you leave it in
Hey,
the...
MathPig, what happened to me getting twice the time?
Oh, that's right. Go again then. You. Yeah, he's getting
GNU.
more time. On that note, people, really appreciate it. Thanks very much, everybody who turned up, and we'll talk to you all later. I am so getting battered in the morning. It's like 4 in the morning. My wee girls woke like 3 times. I'm going to get killed.
Thanks, MathPig.
Thank
Matt
you.
Pitt,
so much.
before you go, you did not overstep anybody's fucking anything. And I'm quite certain you missed it in the chat, but I said, mute button!
Yeah. He
I
heard us.
ruined the flow of the conversation. Hashtag blame MathPig. Hashtag blame MathPig.